Hey guys, real quick before the video starts, I want to give you a heads up that the episode you're about to watch right now is part of the Ammo Training Academy 300 series, where we focus on creating freedom through financial independence as a professional detailer. It's an absolutely unbelievable course, but this is just one episode out of 90 that have never aired, have never been seen before. If you want more information, visit the ammotrainingacademy.com. Use code ATA50 at checkout for 50% off your course enrollment. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. Larry at AMMONYC.com. I'll see you soon. Now, if you're unsure about what services to offer, here's what I found to be the most profitable based on the criteria, meaning the fastest turnaround, the least products, minimal customer headaches, and most demand, with pricing at least 20 to 30% higher than your local competitors. Now, in my opinion, the most profitable based on the above criteria, that's very important. Number one, of course, you guys know what I'm saying, protection. That's coatings, wash and wax, and biannual reapplications of that protection. That would probably be the most profitable in my mind, because there's just not a lot of product being used, there's not a lot of interaction, and it's in and out the same day, and the perceived value is bananas. So that's why coatings are everywhere. It's wildly profitable. And then the number two one, I would say retail new car prep. This is like kind of a favorite of mine, because I put a coating on it, which is number one, and then usually I put a clear bra on it, and it's not directly from the dealer, because that would violate our filter system, meaning they're going to ask you to do that wholesale. This is what that means is somebody buys the car and says to the dealer, and a lot of times I'll get them on the phone. I'll be like, hey, you're buying a new GT3 or a new whatever. I'll say, make sure the dealership leaves all the stickers on it, you know, the plastic things on it. They can do the ECU remap, meaning when it comes to the United States from Germany or Swiss, you know, Switzerland, or whatever car it is, they have to remap the ECU so that it complies with the US laws or UK or wherever you guys are watching it, right? So they make the computer work. Then from there, I said, don't touch it. Don't look at it. Don't wash it. Don't even breathe on it. Nothing. And then it gets sent to me. Why? I do that for multiple reasons, but the big one is I don't want to go through the dealership, because that would violate my filter. When you go through the customer, they're going to pay retail prices and they're going to appreciate it more. So number two for me is the retail new car prep. Then number three is just a regular full detail with the understanding that it's a minimum of $3,000 to get in. Here's what I'm going to do and here's what I'm not going to do. And number four is clear bra. Now, in terms of services, I subcontract that. So I have someone that I've been working with for, my gosh, I don't even know, 15 years or whatever it is. And they come to the shop, they have a whole section here. I don't perform it myself unless it is my expertise. And putting clear bra on is not my expertise. I sub it out to an expert that I've been working with forever. So to me, that is just an upsell and it's great. Number five would be paint restoration or correction just alone. Headlight repair, that's an easy one. I don't do it, but because we're in the Northeast, but in like Florida, that would be amazing. That's such a quick repair. And then the good one is what I did in Harrison, which is the disaster or the emergency cleanup, meaning vomit, drink spill, bird poo, kid mess, something where it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get this out. I dropped milk in the back seat. Those are really great, profitable offerings that you can put in there. Now, the least profitable in my experience, so the flip side to this, like I said before, a basic wash. Absolute nightmare. It'll just drain everything from you. There's lots of customer interaction because they're standing there usually. They're not going to drop it off for an hour wash, right? Drains your time. Oh, how you doing? What's going on? I know that's very nice, but that like every 5-minute conversation in my mind, I'm thinking of cost of goods sold. Number two, I'll put this all, by the way, in a little write-up so you can read this afterwards. But number two would be dry ice blasting. I know that's all the craze, but I do not believe, based on the numbers that I've run, it doesn't make any sense. We can talk about that. If you have any questions, I can go into a 2-hour dissertation. It works. It's wonderful. I think as a standalone expert, and that's all you did, beautiful business, but it is not an add-on business for a detailer, in my opinion. Number three would be engine detailing. Like I mentioned, there's just a lot of miscalculated expectations. I wanted this, I thought that. It's really difficult. Smell removal, same thing. You'd be like, yeah, it smells good to me. And the customer gets in and goes, oh, it's awful. Like, how do you judge that? So stay away from that. Like I mentioned in one of the other episodes, it's like shooting a free throw from half court versus a free throw from the free throw line. I'd rather take it from the free throw line. Smell removal is a half court shot because it's like, it's all perspective. Interior detailing, not super profitable because people are not as excited, in my opinion. Usually interior details are from people who just like neglected the inside of their car and they don't want to spend any money on it. The outside, like I want my car polished, that's usually somebody who's like, I want my car to look great, that kind of thing, and they're willing to pay more for it, so that's why it's not on this list. And number 6 would be window tinting. There's just not a ton of margin in that, so I don't offer it unless it's a really good customer who, I just have to, it's a $10,000 job and we have to do like this one last thing. I'll call a subcontractor in that I've been working forever, but I don't even know. The margins are like, you make $200-300 off of it. So I kind of stay away from window tinting. Now, if you found this list wrong, then great. Your area may prove to be way more profitable in different services than mine. However, you have to prove that that is wrong with your P&L. That's my point. There's no more gut feelings like, oh, I think that's profitable. And then those days are gone. You have to rearrange this from least, or let's say throw everything out together. Basically, when you put these numbers in QuickBooks, it's going to force you to be like, this is profitable or this is not. There's no more gut feelings. And then in QuickBooks, you can actually rearrange it to least profitable to most profitable. That's the point I was trying to make. So these are mine. The big question is, what's yours? Okay, so here's the bottom line. Having prices that are higher, let's say 20 or 30% higher than your local competitors, and minimal service offerings will increase the profits by getting better and faster at your fewer services that you're offering. That was a long, complicated way of saying charge more, offer less services, and the ones that you do, you actually just become better at them. Now, if you decrease the supply and the marketing costs on the services that you just removed, meaning you went from 10 or 20 in this random example, John Smith, I said, and now he's down to 3, you don't have to pay for marketing all those things and doing all the pain points. So your cost of goods sold goes down, which means your profit goes up. So a lot of times people will just trim the fat. You hear in businesses saying, hey, we got to cut a bunch of people that weren't, bringing in the dollars, blah, blah, blah. Instantly they become profitable because they don't have, they're not climbing that mountain I talked about with all these rocks on their back. So doing that is a double effect, meaning you're going to get them excited and happy. They're going to make more money on it, but you're also going to save more money. So the spread between the two of them doesn't go like this. It goes really fast, and that's where your fat margins are. That's where your profit is. Now, all this gives you, at the same time, precise and focused marketing strategy on social media with one message that, of course, brings clarity to your brand for your clients so they can easily understand. If I need a tire fixed, I know I'm going to this one guy. I'm going to Performance Industries. Those are the best. That's all they do is tires. And specifically wheels in this example, but you guys know from my videos, I go there, if there's a cut or something I can't fix, that's it. He doesn't do anything else. He does that. And they run a really great business because of that. So your mission here is to think simple, and profitable clients will just be lining up outside your door. How can I be very simple, offer very few things at a higher price than 20-30% than most people, and be an absolute expert at that particular thing, clear bra, paint restoration, whatever it may be? You are the best of the best in your particular area, and you'll be profitable.